Hey guys, for those of you who just want to net deck the deck, I have a deck list of this deck in the description box below. So you guys make sure you guys check the description box, scroll all the way down, and the deck list will be right there, right in front of your faces. You guys won't have to watch this video because in this video, I explained to you guys my in-depth deck profile on this deck, and I know you guys can see by the minute cap of this video, it's going to be about 30 minutes or so. And I know that some of you guys are not down to watch that. So exactly what I did you guys a favor, I put a deck list in the description box below. I still love you guys though, so that means you guys can't complain anymore. Still love you though. Have a great day. So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from Team SamRX1 here, and today I am coming at you with my final and my updated version of my Monarch deck profile for you guys today. And it's going to be the exact same deck list I took to OCS, the Open Circuit Series, this past weekend, which I came first place, winning over $350 worth in cash prizes. So for those of you who showed up to the event, I just want to shout all you guys out. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the event. Thank you so much for making this event possible and very successful. So this is the deck profile that I'll be showing you guys today. So this is my updated version of my Monarchs. This deck does not have 45 cards like my first place Yu-Gi-Oh! Day deck profile. This is going to be the exactly 40 card deck. This deck is super consistent, and I'll explain to you guys why it's super consistent. To be honest, I never bricked all day this weekend. You know, well, I bricked only when I went into game 3. It's crazy. But all my matches that are too old, I never bricked at all. And I only went to game 3 just twice. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. And for those of you who are here just to net deck and just wants to see the deck list, I'll leave a link in the description box below of the deck list of this deck. You guys do not have to watch this video because I'm just so tired of people saying, you know, Sam, you speak too much. You explain 8 minutes just for 3 cards, things like that. Well, for those people, some people actually like that. Some people actually enjoy me explaining some of my card choices. But for those of you who are not here for that, it's completely understandable because I know that sometimes my voice is annoying or things like that, or just ramble on too much. So I'll leave a link in the description box below of the deck list of this deck, or just the entire deck list in the description box below. Just click the description box, scroll all the way down, and you guys can see my deck list, and just net deck, do whatever you guys want, but just understand that for those of you who are just here for this 20-minute deck profile, 20+ minute deck profile, I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. So throughout this deck profile, I'll explain to you guys how what matches I played during the weekend and why I was really successful against those matchups. So without further ado, let's get started with this deck profile. So during the past weekend, the OCS Tournament Open Circuit Series, hosted by Game Nation, there was a total of 6 rounds of Swiss because there were 50 players, exactly 50 players in the tournament. So there would be 6 rounds of Swiss. So I'll explain to you guys my Swiss rounds, and then I'll go into my top 8 and my final rounds. So basically, my first round matchup, I played against Dinomist. I ended up 2-0ing the person in under like 5 minutes. So it was a really great matchup for me because, you know, any pendulum matchups that utilizes the extra deck or things like that, I'm able to just really easily beat them down because cards like Airbits and Domain just literally locks down that matchup. So my first round matchup, I ended up beating Dinomist 2-0. My second round matchup, I faced against the Monarch Mirror Match. The Monarch Mirror Match is really good. I don't know if you guys right now, if you guys are playing against the Mirror Match, it's whoever runs out of Stormforth wins, okay? No, whoever loses their Stormforth first, like whoever utilizes all their Stormforth first, they lose. Okay, so in the mirror match, it's all about what is it called? Card management and the way you use cards and the way you utilize cards. So it's all about resources management against the mirror match, and it's all about skill as well. So you always have to outthink your opponent depending with the cards you have in your hand and things like that. So in the Monarch mirror match, I did this amazing combo that I never thought I would do. This is my first time doing this, so I'll explain to you guys as I progress through the deck what the combo it was that I ended up 2-0ing the Monarch player. So you know, round 2 I ended up 2-0ing the Monarch mirror match because Stormforth is the best card against the mirror match. So you know what, Stormforth is literally the best card in the deck aside from Panditi or Tenacity, but it's one of the greatest cards in the deck. It's literally an unfair card. It's crazy. Yeah, so you know, round 2 I ended up 2-0ing my Monarch mirror match. Third round, I faced Kozmo. Kozmo is usually an easy matchup for me once I already have a Majesty's Fiend and a Vanity's Fiend up on board, but Kozmojo is a B. So you know what, if you're playing against Kozmo, you always have to read your opponent's Kozmojo plays or things like that. So yeah, you know what, third round, I ended up losing the Kozmo. Game 1, he just scooped. Game 1, I easily beat him. Game 2, he beat me because I wasn't able to get into my air bases in time, and you know, he just had too many good cards. He had like E-Telly, Tin Can, Dark Destroyer, he dropped double Dark Destroyer, activate E-Telly, bring out Farm Girl, just, you know, destroyed me at that point, and I couldn't really do anything. So I ended up losing to that Kozmo player, and yeah, I ended up losing to that Kozmo player. And during my 4th round, I faced against my a guy from Untouchables, Joe Vesia. And, you know, Joe was talking a lot of crap about me during the matchup. You know, he ended up taking game 1. yeah, he ended up taking game one. He was just like, he drew 5 cards before we started throwing. He was just like, Sam, I win. I'm like, wow, why would you say that to me? You know? But anyways, he beat me game one. Game two, I literally Majesty locked him with March and Domain, so he couldn't do anything. And he didn't draw into his Cosmos at all. He ended up oversiding, so he just oversided against me, so he didn't see any monsters, so I just kept beating him down with Majesty's Fiend, and he just lost. Game 3, I beat him because of a card in my deck, and I'll show you guys why this card is so good. But game 3, I ended up beating him. So right now, at this point, I was 3-1. My round 5, I faced against a Majespecter player. I ended up 2-0ing the guy as well. Really easy matchup. Majespecter is really easy matchup for this deck because, you know, airbase is not target at all. And during my last round matchup, it was probably the scariest matchup. And, you know, I was on the edge of my seat during this matchup, and it was a future match, by the way. So guys, if you guys want to see all my future matches in this entire tournament, please give this video 200+ likes. I really appreciate that. I'll show you guys my duels, because I know you guys love live commentary or, like, you know, live duel videos, and I never really have that on my deck on my channel. I was gonna say deck profile, but I'm just so used to saying deck profile, but I don't really have that on my channel. So if you guys want to see the live stream duel videos that I actually did live playing against the Mermail player, and, you know, I had a lot of future matches in this tournament. So if you guys want to see that, that'll be absolutely amazing. Make sure you give this video 20+ likes. So basically, game 1, I scooped. I don't remember what happened, but he just dropped the board. You know, I think he hand looped me or something, but I totally forgot. You guys will see it on the stream. So game 1, I just picked up the deck. I was like, you know what, I scooped. Game 2, I sided my 3rd Majesty's Fiend in, and then I literally beat him with just 1 Majesty's Fiend. That duel was so quick. Like, you know, the first and second game was so quick because both players just scooped. I dropped the Majesty's Fiend, and he was like, oh, I can't do anything. He scooped the deck. That's it. Game 3, it was a pretty good game. It was a really grindful game. So I ended up beating him in game 3. But, you know, Mermail is probably the scariest matchup for this deck. I was on the edge of my seat for this entire duel. I was like, you know what, Mermail's gonna beat me, because you guys don't understand how good Atlantean Prince is. A card is literally a 1 card out to your big boss monster on the board. You know, Summon Prince. Yeah, Summon Prince, did Dritch Lagoon, add an infantry, add Megalo, you know, just Megalo off, pop your cards, Mulangasia, and then you just lose from there, and then, you know, what can you do? So, but, you know, luckily, game 3, I ended up beating him, so it was great. So now, you know what, my rounds of Swiss, I ended up coming 2nd place in Swiss, so I was 5-1. Top 8, I faced against my boy Tom. He was playing Dark Arm Monarch. So if you guys want to check out that deck profile, make sure you guys click the I button right there. It'll be a suggestions video, so make sure you click that. So round 6, I faced my boy Tom, Dark Arm Monarchs. I ended up 2-0ing the guy. You know, as I said before, against mirror match, it's all about skill, and it's all about how you resource management. But so I ended up beating my boy Tom. You know, then, you know, that was top 8, and I proceeded on to top 4. Top 4, I faced against my boy Knock. He's playing a super cool Quantum Monarch deck. So if you guys want to see that deck profile, click on the eye right there as well. It will show you guys that Quantum deck profile. He ended up top 4ing, but I ended up 2-0ing him as well, and that's also on stream. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be absolutely amazing. So make sure you give this video 200+ likes, and I'll post all my stream videos up. So, yep, and in the final round, I faced against Pepe. I ended up 2-0ing the guy as well. Pepe is really easy matchup for me because Stormforth just wins you the game. You go Stormforth, Vandy's Fiend, up, they can't really do anything. Stormforth, Vandy's Fiend, March, you win the duel. They can't really do anything. Turn Toad doesn't do crap. So, yeah, so that was my weekend. I ended up winning $350 worth in cash prizes. So, thank you guys so much for listening to my matchups and how I did. So, without further ado, let's get started with this deck profile real quick. Start with the deck profile, start with the monsters. You know what, I really appreciate it for those of you who actually stayed and listened to my thoughts. You know, it really means a lot to me, because you know what, some players, you guys have to understand that some players are new to the game, some players just want to hear a lot of insights of the deck, right? You can't assume that everybody knows how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because every single day there's new subscribers, there's new people that join Yu-Gi-Oh! There's new people that buy cards, buy different decks. So you know what, it's really good to explain card choices and things like that. But for those of you who already know, right, what's the point of watching the deck profile, or like what's the point of complaining if you guys already know the deck? But I'm just giving out information for the players who don't know, and yeah, because you guys cannot always assume that everybody knows how to play the deck. So without further ado, let's get started with the deck. So of course, I'll show you have the standard first. You play triple Erebus, really standard, and triple Aether. These cards were the best cards of the weekend. You guys don't know what these cards do. These cards are amazing. Let me focus on that. Sometimes I feel like each time I do my deck profile, I feel like it's always out of focus. There you go. That should be good. I'm sorry for the glare over there. I'm gonna put the card over here. So basically, Aether and Airbase is really, really good. You know what? In your first turn, you want to see Airbase in your hand as much as possible because nuking that one card out of your opponent's hand is really, really essential. You know, they essentially, you know what? Basically, start out with a 5-card hand. You know, with if you Airbase them, so it's really, really amazing for that purpose. So Airbase is great, and a lot of people forget about Airbase's second effect, where you know he can recycle your monarchs by ditching a monarch spawn trap card from your hand to the graveyard to add this card back to your hand. His effect is a quick effect, so you can activate during either player's turn, which is really, really good. So you can essentially dodge a Blitz Dweller or things like that. So that's really why I really, really love about Airbase. Next, you play, of course, triple Aether. Aether is absolutely amazing because she's able to help you potentially OTK your opponent, bringing out an extra Airbase or Kuras to pop cards, things like that, or just to bring out another Aether to push for damage in the end phase. The Aether adds to your hand is really, really good. And the second effect is that being able to tribute on your opponent's turn is amazing because Stormforth and Aether combos are great. You Stormforth your opponent's monster, you bring out Aether on their turn, you literally lose a monster and you get a free Aether. You bring out Koraz, pop your own cards, you pop their cards, you draw cards, things like that. Aether is really good. And these cards are the boss monster of the deck, obviously, and they're really amazing. And the really great thing, another thing about Airbase is that Airbase is not target, so that's why this deck has a really great matchup against a Kozmo matchup because of cards like Stormforth and cards like Airbase that doesn't target. So you can easily run over their big ships. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the big bosses of the deck. Nothing to really explain there. And the Airbase, guys, remember Airbase has a really great effect to recycle cards. So really good. Next, for the 1-ups, you want to play the 1 Kuraz and 1 Kai's the Mega Monarch. These cards are amazing. Kuraz, there's a lot of Kuraz combos that you can do in this deck. And what I would do with Kuraz the most is comboing up with the Aether. In the mirror match, you guys have to be really smart on resources and card management. So what would you do at this point is let's say your opponent activates Stormforth. Okay, so let's go to the activate Stormforth right here, okay? So once your opponent activates Stormforth, and let's say you have a, it doesn't matter what you have an Airbase, okay? You have an Airbase and you have an Aether in your hand. So once they activate Stormforth, they want to tribute off your 1 monster for the tribute summon because, Airbase was a tribute summon monster. So at this point, if you have an Aether in hand, as soon as they activate Stormforth, you want to chain Aether's effect, tribute off the Airbase, tribute off the Airbase, you bring out this card, Aether banishes a card and then sends 2 cards, especially from Kuraz. And at this point, what you're gonna do is you're gonna activate Kuraz's effect, pop your own Aether, you draw 1 card, and at this point is that their Stormforth will fizzle unless they have a monster on the board. They cannot tribute this 1 card for their big boss summon because this card was special summon. So that's a cool way you can fizzle the Stormforth, which is really, really good. So that's another combo I like to do with Kuraz. And Kuraz, I would never ever pop my opponent's cards with Kuraz because I do not want them to plus at all. Especially against the Pepe matchup, if you pop cards with Kuraz, their cards are always replenishable. So if they draw cards, they draw into their resources, and you don't want that at all. And you guys all know Pepe. 1 card can literally make them win the game. They draw a Joker. Oops, go monkey board scale. Oh, pendulum, you lose. Cool. They can also draw monkey board, Joker, whatever shenanigans. Then they can just bring out their board. So in my personal opinion, I would never ever want to pop cards. Pop their cards with the Kuraz, but it's just my personal opinion. And the Mega Kai's is really, really good because that burn damage is amazing. It's really great against the mirror match. Banishing the Eidos is really great. Banishing what's it called? The Airbase is really amazing as well. So Kai's Mega Monarch is great. And you guys can see, since this is my updated deck list, you guys do not see Thessalos in the main deck at all because in my personal opinion, Thessalos sucks. He's not good. First turn, my logic is always like, okay, would I rather look at my opponent's hand, send a card out of their hand, they lose a card, and they take damage, or would I rather set up my graveyard with Airbase, nuke a card out of their hand, but I don't get to look at their hand, doesn't matter, it's the same purpose, they lose a card, and they start out with a 5-card hand, and then I have Panditi and a Prime Monarch in my graveyard. So that's my logic. So I always want to go Airbase first turn, no matter what the cost is. I would never ever want to go with Thessalos, so I felt like Thessalos was an extra waste of a copy in the main deck. I do not like the card at all, so I was like, you know what, I gotta cut it at all. I just gotta cut it. So that's pretty much it for our, the Mega Monarchs. You want to play one Kai's and 1 Kuraz. That's pretty much it for the Monarch engine of the deck. Let's go off to our Vassals. Vassals really key in this deck because they make your engine going. Triple Idea, amazing. You guys don't know what Idea does. And Triple Eidos. Okay, this is a new addition to the deck. You guys all saw my previous deck profiles. This card was at 2 of my previous deck profiles. So you know what? I actually listen to you guys. I actually love it when you guys give me suggestions. Like, Sam, you know what? You have to play 3 Eidos. I hate running out of that card. This card is absolutely amazing. And the reason why I love this card is because I play the Fiends in my deck. And this card plays a 1-card Fiend, so it's really good. And you know, idea 2 does 8 O's. So once you know that you 2.1 8 O's, you know that you have 2 left in the deck, so you don't really have to worry about running out of 8 O's. And there's no other way to replenish 8 O's from your banished pile, so that's why I kind of want to bump this card up to 3. So it's really amazing for that purpose. So I love you guys for giving me the suggestion and the advice to play this card. So shout outs to all my fans that gave me the advice to play Triple Up, and I kudos to you guys, props to you guys. Thank you so much for giving me suggestion to play Triple this card. Absolutely amazing. And what I really love about Eidos is when he's in the graveyard, he's able to give you essentially a free idea and another Eidos from the deck, so that way that you can essentially have 2 tribute summons in 1 turn, especially with Aether and Erebus. You can potentially OTK your opponent by just having this card in the graveyard, since you're able to get access into 2 tribute summons in 1 turn. So Eidos is really amazing. And Ideas has a really good effect, is that you guys all know when he's sent to the graveyard in any way, you know, destroy by battle, send off Foolish Burial or anything like that, Idea will get to add a banished card from your banished pile to your hand. So really amazing. You know, he's the reason why you can activate like 10 Banditis in 1 turn. So yeah. So triple Idea. Amazing. And now off to our Fiends, and these are really essential in the deck in my personal opinion. Double Majesty's Fiend, and you want to play double Vanity's Fiend. These cards are the MVP of the entire weekend, aside from Erebus, of course. These cards are absolutely amazing. The reason why I love Fiends so much is because they're like an anti-meta stun of the deck. You guys all know how my playstyle is. I hate playing decks without back row, and essentially these are your walking floodgates. This is like, you know, this is your freaking skill drain in the deck. This is your, you know, Vanity's Emptiness in the deck. And I'm with you guys right now, Majesty's Fiend and Vanity's Fiend are such amazing cards in the mirror match. And you guys are probably wondering, Sam, what the hell in the mirror match, okay? Why is it so good in the mirror match? And the reason being is because once your opponent runs out of Stormforth, okay, once you see 2 Stormforth in the graveyard and you see another Stormforth in their advantage zone, and you bring up Majesty's Fiend, your opponent will not get access into this into their Stormforth ever again, because Majesty's Fiend locks on the idea from the graveyard. It cannot activate Idea's effect to add a Stormforth to their hand or things like that. So Majesty's Fiend is amazing. So basically, once they tribute off for Erebus or things like that, they're forced to run it over, so they don't get effects at all. So they essentially neg. So Majesty's Fiend is really amazing. And Vanity's Fiend is great as well, because during the mirror match, I usually drop him late game once your opponent is just trying to, you know, block damage off the prime. So once you drop the Vanity's Fiend, they can't really do anything from that point, because they're always relying on their prime to go off. So Vanity's Fiend is really amazing for that purpose. Stops the prime, stop the Eidos from the graveyard, which is really essential in the late game matchup, because banish the Eidos, bring out the idea, you know. So Vanity's Fiend just stops that overall, and you know, especially against rogue matchups or like decks like Mermails or decks like Kozmo. Once you have March of the Monarchs, Domain, and 2 of these cards, one of each of these cards on the board, you automatically know you just win the duel. So, you know, this card alone just locks them from, you know, doing crazy stuff. So Vanity's Fiend is amazing, Majesty's Fiend is amazing as well. And, you know, having March of the Monarchs, turn total doesn't do jack against these cards on the board. So that's why I really like. Majesty's Fiend is literally an auto win against the Mermail matchup, which I really love. And Vanity's Fiend is also an auto win against the Kozmo matchup as well. So that's why I really like about Vanity's Fiend. But the only downside of Vanity's Fiend is that, you know, a Good Witch can book him, but if you have a March, they can't do jack. So Vanity's Fiend is amazing. And yeah, that's all I want to say about these cards. And, you know, the really great anti-meta aspect of the deck. I really love this card, and I would not cut these cards at all. So, you know, 2 Fiends, and last but not least, you play double Effect Veiler. These cards are amazing for because, you know what, stopping the mirror match is really great. Sometimes, you know, if you Veiler their Eidos, not Eidos, if you Veiler the idea, their turn is essentially over. So Veilering the idea is really amazing, and you know, stops second Donkey as well, stops the Joker and things like that. So Effect Veiler is great. That's pretty much it for my my main deck monsters of the deck. Yeah, let's go off to the spells real quick. Spells is really self-explanatory. Let's go off with the spells. You play triple Panditi. I would never call this card Pantheism. It just kind of sounds weird. You know, I love the OCG name better. Panditi of the Monarchs, really good. You know, one of the best spell cards in the deck. You know, you draw cards, you banish himself, and you know, it's advantage over advantage over advantage. And this card gets all your resources to your hand, which I really like. Triple Panditi, triple. Where's my boy? Oh no! Oh, triple the Monarch Stormforth. This card is the best card against the Kozmo matchup, against any other matchup actually. Card is amazing. Let me show you guys how I broke a board in my final matchup. When you guys see how I broke a board of Giant Hand, Luster Pendulum, Rafflesia, and it was Giant Hand, Rafflesia, Luster Pendulum, and another monster. I forgot what it was, but it's a big board. I beat him down with just a Vanity's Emptiness and a Stormforth, so it's crazy. And you know, after that they couldn't do anything. So I literally just won from there. So you guys want to see that duel? It'll be up really soon. But you know, Stormforth literally won me that game. I guess the mirror match is all about resource management, as I said. So once your opponent runs out of Stormforth first, they lose. So you always want to use this card. You want to see this card in your main deck as much as possible. Either you get it off your idea from your Banish Zone to your hand, or you can always recycle back this card. So make sure you always have this card at 3 in your main deck with Prime Monarch. So the Monarch Stormforth is really amazing for that purpose. Really love about the Stormforth. Great combo card, and it's also to interrupt a lot of your opponent combo plays as well, because you're able to sack off their monster, which is really important, and it's really interrupts their plays as well. So especially during during your opponent's turn, you know, Stormforth and Aether interrupting their plays is amazing. So you Stormforth, you tribute one of your primes and one of their monsters, bring out Aether, and you just go off from there. So Stormforth and Aether have such an amazing combo, and the reason why I love Stormforth is because in the Kozmo matchup, you just Stormforth their Dark Destroyer, Stormforth their big ships, and they essentially can't really do anything. So definitely, in my personal opinion, the Monarch Stormforth is a must-have at. So after the Stormforth, you want to play Triple Tenacity. Tenacity is really self-explanatory. It gets all your resources to your hand, so you know, really self-explanatory. Next, you want to play, of course, Double Domain of the Monarchs. This card should not be your win condition. This card is really amazing since it's able to what is it called? You know, Domain of the Monarchs is really amazing since it's able to shut down your opponents from using the extra deck, of course. But this card should not be your win condition. This card is just another stun card essentially. So you do not always rely on Domain, because you know what, during the Magician matchup, you know, they'll just Dragon Pit this card, no problem. And if they get rid of this and you have no other outs to your cards, then you just essentially lose a duel. So don't make this card your win condition. And the really good thing about this card is that, especially in the mirror match, if they have your, you know, face-up Eidos on the board and you Stormforth them, you make your monster level 6, which is really amazing as well. And essentially what you can do is that you can normal summon your big boss monsters. So you activate one, reveal Erebus becomes level 6, you activate another one, reveal Erebus becomes level 4, and you can essentially normal summon 2800 beater on board, which is really good. So, you know, Double Domain on Monarch is great, and 800 attack boost is really amazing as well. So, you know, Majesty's Fiend and Vanity's Fiend can get over those big ships in the Kozmo matchup. So Domain of the Monarchs is amazing. Next you play next you play the One Return, March of the Monarchs. This card is really good. It gets all your resources to your hand. If you see this card in your hand with a first turn Erebus, you're pretty much set. You search up the Aether to your hand, which is really good. That's what I really like about the Return of the Monarch. You play a March of the Monarch, really great card. You know, March of the Monarch with Majesty's and Vanity's Lock is essentially game. So great card. Next, you want to play 1 Reinforce of the Army and 1/1 to round off our spell lineup. And this is the combo that I did. Okay, so during my Monarch mirror match in round 2, this is probably the best play I did all day. You guys don't understand. So basically, I had 2 cards in my hand, and the card, you know, my opponent had to have the Erebus. He nuked my Stormforth out of my hand. So I was like, you know what can I do? What can I do with just an Erebus in my hand? You know, he nuked my Stormforth. I was planning to Stormforth his big monster next turn and just do the shenanigans next turn. But you know what? Unfortunately, I couldn't do that. So basically, I was like, you know what? It was like a heart of the card moment. So I was like, okay, Yugi, give me something good, Yugi. So I was like, oh, heart of the card moment. I drew a 1/1, and you know, I sat there for 5 minutes. I was like, what can I do with his hand? So basically, what I did was I activated 1/1. Okay, I sent Erebus to the graveyard. This is why I started reading a lot of card effects. Okay, I summoned the Squire. I summoned Eidos in defense. Cool. You know, I get a triple summon this turn. Remember that. So what happens now is I enter battle phase. I was like, okay, I'm gonna attack into his Erebus. I lose 2,000 life points. This card dies. Panditi. Then I add a Panditi from my Banish Zone to my hand. So I add this card to my hand, this card in my hand. So I had this in my hand and I had an Erebus in the grave. So I did this point is I activate Erebus' effect, Erebus pitch off the Panditi, right? Erebus pitch off the Panditi, add this card to my hand. Activated Panditi's effect, banish, searched up triple Tenacity. I searched up triple Tenacity, activated Tenacity, searched up the Stormforth. So I Stormforth his Erebus, brought out this card, spun back his Prime. Spun back his Prime, and I'll just top that game from him from there, and I just just won the duel from there. So that's another cool card combo you can do. And basically what happened was that once this card died, my idea in my graveyard is always life. So really good. So that's another play that I did today. It was amazing. Let's go up to the traps. The traps are probably gonna be one of my MVP lineups of the weekend. So let me show off the traps real quick. Traps, you want to play one solemn warning, one solemn scolding. This card is definitely one of the best cards in the deck right now. Shout out to my boy Anthony from Sudbury. Shout out to you. Okay, their channel. I'm gonna shout out their channel, Sudbury Yu-Gi-Oh players. Shout out to them. If you guys want to check them out on YouTube, that would be absolutely amazing. So shout outs to Sudbury Yu-Gi-Oh player and my boy Anthony for suggesting me to play solemn scolding in the deck. He plays 3 solemn scoldings, but I just couldn't have space for that, so I decided to main the one solemn scolding. In my matchup against Joe Vesia, I ended up wrecking him with the solemn scolding. Card is absolutely a blowout card. This card is so good. Stops the effect dealers from hand, stops hand trap, stops maxis, stops the tribute summon monster, stops their cards effects in the graveyard. Literally a solemn judgment. And you know, with the amount of people playing Upstart Goblin, this card becomes live. So solemn scolding is definitely an amazing card in this deck, and I love this card. I actually might even want to bump this card up to 2. One scolding, one escalation. This card is okay. I actually always side this card out for a second solemn scolding, so I actually might want to cut this card. So he's not that great. But you know what, sometimes, you know, activating the Stormforth on their monsters and tributing off your fiends on their turn is good. And so, but other than that, this card is mediocre at best. Next, you want to play Double Prime Monarch. This card is absolutely phenomenal. I was watching a video, you know, the past week or so, and I was watching this guy that he was doing a Monarch deck profile, and he was like, oh, this card is only good. This card sucks because he's only good when he's in the graveyard because he's used it as a tribute summon fodder. So I looked at a video and I just totally disagreed with that guy's comment, because this card is absolutely amazing in your spawn trap card zone. In my Monarch matchup, as I said before, whoever runs out of resources first loses, okay? If you run out of resources in the Monarch matchup, you automatically lose a duel, and this card brings back your resources from your deck, from your graveyard to your deck, and you essentially get to draw 2 cards every single turn, one on your opponent's turn and one on your turn, which is absolutely amazing. And the reason why I actually beat my friend Knock in a top 4 matchup is because he, you know, he misplayed. He sent both of his Prime Monarch to the graveyard, you know, one off Airburst effect, one off Aether's effect, and he only played double copies. And I was like, why would you do that to yourself? What's the point of having 2 in the graveyard? You can only activate his effect once per turn anyways, so why are you gonna, you know, waste your time sending 2 of these cards to the graveyard all at once when you have 2 copies anyways? So the Prime Monarch is really amazing at 2. But you want to only see 1 in the graveyard as much as possible. During late game, this card becomes a key card winner in the deck. He makes your Airburst and Aethers always live. Side deck's probably MVP of the weekend, by the way. The side deck's amazing. I'll explain to you guys why. You play the 3rd Fiends, really good. Usually side this against the, you know, the 3rd one against the mirror, not the mirror match. I side the 3rd one against the Mermail matchup, and of course the Kozmo matchup. I put these in the Kozmo matchup. It's like literally like a fiend game, because it's really amazing, because sometimes tripling off the Stormforth with just 1 card for the Vanities and Vanities Fiend just makes you win the duel. So yeah. Next we want to play, of course, the 3rd Effect Veiler. Really key. Put this in against the mirror match. Amazing. And next you play Triple Maxi. Put this against the Mermail matchup, and the Pepe matchup, because, you know, once they go off and you make you draw cards, you win the duel. So Triple Maxi. And now off what I sided in for the mirror match, you side in double Fog King. Fog King is really amazing. And I sided in the BLS. BLS for the mirror match is absolutely phenomenal. I love this card. This card is amazing. I drew him every single time because of this bad boy. This card makes you draw 2 cards per turn, 1 on your opponent's turn and 1 on my turn. So once I always see this card because of this card. I draw into him because of this card, and I draw into him because of Kuraz. So that's why he's just so good. Double Solemn Scolding, side this in against the mirror match, Pepe, Kozmo, any other matchup. You know, so side in triple, Triple Solemn Scolding, scary. 3rd Domain for the Pepe matchup, and last but not least, Triple Twin Twister for any other rogue matchup, or against. I usually sign double Twin Twister for, you know, every other matchup, because Master Restricts are coming in, and it's pretty scary because Master Restrict is a scary card. So that's pretty much it for my side deck, and this is what I usually sign in for the mirror match. This, and the reason why you side BLS in the mirror match is because it's like literally a free card out to Fog King or things like that. Switch card is amazing. People don't expect this card. I lost to this card so many times once my opponent dropped this card on me, because I thought I was safe with just a Fog King on the board, but BLS just, you know, decided to wreck me, so it's pretty scary. So that's pretty much it for my deck profile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoy this deck. So a Domain of the Monarchs is really amazing because I side him in against a Pepe matchup, so that way that my Panditi shirts can always be a 3 of this card. But, you know, other than that, a 2 of in the main deck is definitely more than enough. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much it for my deck profile. Thank you guys so much for staying like 30 minutes for watch this entire deck profile. I really appreciate you guys listening to my explanations. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As I said before, for those of you who actually made through the video this far, I love you guys. Kudos to you. Shout outs to you guys. I want to shout out Game Nation. Shout outs to my boy Knock, Victor Lamb, Sam, Jesse Cotton, Josh. For those of you who supported me throughout the entire event, I really appreciate you guys helping me out. Shout out to my sponsors, Ray and Andrew, for helping me get cards for this deck. So, without you guys, I wouldn't be having cards in the deck right now. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Guys, make sure you guys come out to the next OCS event. It's really, really fun. It was really successful. I love seeing new faces. I love seeing all you guys. I love hanging out with all you guys. So it was an amazing experience. Guys, next OCS come out and win $350 worth of cash prizes. And this is going to be my first place deck profile. If you guys want to see dual videos of this deck, make sure you give this video 200 plus likes. I have future matches going to be up this week. So yeah, and this is Sam from Team Sam signing out. Love you guys. Peace.